Good morning, children. I, Tanima Seth, really hope you and your near and dear ones are safe and following all the safety measures in this difficult time. As you are very much familiar with the proverb, prevention is better than cure. Therefore, our government has taken this essential step to protect us from the existing pandemic. One of the important key for success is not spending time, rather investing it. So keeping this in our mind, we have to decide whether we want to waste the given time or utilize it to the fullest. You can use this time in a constructive manner by enhancing your skills or by continuing with your studies. The resources are being provided to you, various steps are being taken to keep your studies in pace. But it'll be worth only when you use these opportunities in a productive manner. So I request you to utilize the time given to you in the best possible way so that when we meet back, I should see you as an improved version of yourself. With this note, let's start with the today's class. So, as you can see it on the page itself, that I'm going to teach you a poem written by Robert Louis Stevenson. Before starting with the poem, I would just like to give you a very short introduction of the poet itself. Robert Louis Stevenson was a poet, a musician, a travel writer. He is best known as the author of the children's classic Treasure Island. Other than Treasure Island, his famous books are The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and A Child's Garden of Verses. You might have heard or read, some of his books, right? You might have come across these books maybe in the library. Okay, so here we have one of his fascinating adventure poem, that is Pirate Story. Before that, let me ask you whether you have played games where you acted like someone else. Yes, I know all have played such games. Like girls are fond of assuming the role of a teacher or maybe a doctor or a nurse. And boys, what sort of games you have played the most? I know that of a superhero or maybe of a soldier, a police officer shooting down all your enemies. Hmm? Not only children assume the roles, but they also create an artificial setting in their surroundings while playing. You must have also set up the setting, right? Okay, so I'm sure you have played these games either by yourself or with your cousins or friends. Similarly, these three children in the poem Pirate Story are out for an adventure game where they assume the role of a pirate. You must have watched various movies and cartoons, no? Where you have seen pirates, such as Pirates of the Caribbean, The Treasure Island. I think you have guessed it correct, right? So, who is a pirate? A person who attacks and robs a ship at water or at sea. So, now let us dive into the poem. Here, the three kids are in a meadow pretending to be pirates. What is a meadow? A meadow is an open grassy land near a river. Okay, and these boys are pretending to be pirates and sailing at the sea. Okay, so just look at the first line of the first stanza and just I have just zoomed a little bit so that you can see the words clearly. Okay, Three of us afloat in the meadow by the swing. So, where are the three kids? They are, of course, in the meadow. What is meadow? As I have told you earlier, grassy land near the river. Grassy land near the river. So, where are they? They are in the meadow by the swing. Alright, and they are swinging. Afloat over here means what? That they are floating on waters. They are actually not floating on waters, rather they have imagined themselves to be present in a boat which is sailing on water, okay, which is sailing at sea, but actually they are present in a meadow and they are swinging. Okay. Okay, now the second line says, three of us abroad in the basket on the layer. The three children are set to go abroad, okay, in the basket. Basket over here refers to the swing, okay, tied up to a tree, of course, which they have imagined to be a boat. On the Leah again over here is an open area of grassy land. Okay, another synonym that you have got for meadow. Let us look into the third line now. Winds are in the air. It refers to the moving air that fills the sails of a boat. They are blowing in the spring. They over here refers to the winds. The winds are blowing in the spring. In which season? In the spring season. And waves are on the meadow like the waves there are at sea. So, while swinging on the meadow, the children can experience the same wind waves or air waves as it is there at the sea. Students, we have completed the first stanza of the poem. Make sure you give a thorough reading, revise it before the next class. Please keep in mind to make notes regularly. You can pause the video as per your convenience. Make note of the important points which you come across. This is essential for better understanding and future reference. So, on this note, I would like to end today's session. Stay home, stay safe.